Hello everyone, this is Crypto BitLaw, back with another blockchain legal brief, and today we're going to discuss how MetaMask and Infura, two pillars of the Ethereum DeFi ecosystem, recently blocked users over impending sanctions. So before we dive in, if you enjoy this content, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. And with that said, let's dive right on in. Okay, so here we can see CoinDesk reports that MetaMask and Infura block quote, certain areas amidst crypto sanctions fury. The two pillars of the Ethereum ecosystem did not say which areas were under blockade. They say, two key pieces of the Ethereum ecosystem, MetaMask and Infura, moved to restrict access to users in certain areas amid an industry-wide focus on the risk cryptocurrencies pose for evading international sanctions. Quote, MetaMask and Infura are unavailable in certain jurisdictions due to legal compliance, the consensus-controlled crypto wallet and infrastructure provider respectively said in a joint blog post timestamped around 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Thursday, which was yesterday. Users from those areas would get an error message, the blog post said. The post was later updated to say, by default, MetaMask accesses the blockchain via Infura, which is unavailable in certain jurisdictions due to legal compliance. The post did not state what, quote, certain jurisdictions were covered. Some Venezuela-based users were reporting service interruptions, although CoinDesk could not independently confirm this. A consensus representative did not immediately respond to a request for comment. After the initial publication of this article, Infura said in a series of tweets that the restrictions were intended but made too broad through a technical error. Quote, in changing some configurations as a result of the new sanctions directives from the United States and other jurisdictions, we mistakenly configured the settings more broadly than they needed to be. The project's official Twitter handle said, quote, this was our oversight, and we are grateful that it was pointed out to us. Once we determined what happened, we were able to fix the problem, and service has been. Okay, well, points of note is that this is the problem that you run into with centralization. When you have one centralized entity that is I don't know if it's a corporate entity or an LLC, but it takes on a corporate business entity structure in the United States. So it's a juridical person as opposed to a natural person. So it has juridical personhood in the United States. That entity is subject to the laws and regulation and jurisdiction of the United States. So you have one central entity, Consensus, who is responsible for upkeeping and just the overall maintenance of MetaMask and Infura. That central entity, Consensus, is beholden to another central entity, which is the United States government. And this is the problem that you run into with centralization. When these parties can just flip a light switch and turn you off on a whim, that's no good. That's bad. That stands as an antithesis to everything that original blockchain ethos and Bitcoin was intended to represent. A decentralized system where all of these decentralized parties come together and try to eliminate counterparty risk. See, you have counterparty risk by using these centralized products, even though they're branded as pillars of a DeFi system, of decentralized finance through Ethereum. So if you're still holding funds or digital assets on these products, these wallets that are maintained and controlled by a centralized entity, I mean, it's just shocking to see that on a whim, these people, Consensus, can just flip that switch and turn you right off and prevent you from having access to your funds, right? So what needs to happen, what people need to do is move to more decentralized platforms and more decentralized products. Things that you can't just have one central entity controlling everything with regards to that particular ecosystem, just turning people off on a whim. That is the ethos behind decentralization. And I think we need more of that. So Consensus is just trying to play nice with the United States government and doing a CYA by trying to remain in compliance with U.S. directives with regards to these sanctions that spawned out of the Russian-Ukraine conflict. But I think that this should be a wake-up call to everyone to avoid centralization, go for something that's decentralized, open source, so that you can maintain control and eliminate counterparty risk. I think that is the biggest takeaway. And, me being a MetaMask user myself, it's almost shocking to see this. It's going to make me rethink how I'm actually going to hold these funds in a in a DeFi or Web3 based wallet that isn't subject to this draconian level jurisdiction and just oversight. So with that said, I guess I'll just give a shout out. I know that Richard Hart, he was the founder of Hex, and he's coming out with this project, the PulseChain, which is pretty much, he forked Ethereum, and it's ETH 2.0, releasing way before ETH 2.0 is going to get off the ground, and it's got proof of stake. But what he's trying to do is establish vertical integration so that you ultimately have a truly DeFi open source based version of MetaMask to use as a Web3 wallet to access all of these different DeFi smart contract platform based blockchains, and to move your assets around. And I know one of the problems he's running into is the license that was put up on MetaMask. It's not, you can't easily copy it as you would something like Uniswap v2, where it has the type of license that you can actually just copy it. That's why you have so many forks of Uniswap v2, i.e. PancakeSwap or something like that. But Uniswap v3, they actually changed the license of Uniswap v3 so that you can't just copy it all willy-nilly and then just slap a new brand on it and then claim, oh, this is a new product. Same thing with MetaMask. But if you could use the same framework and then create an open source counterparty riskless system and Web3 wallet, then I think that could be nothing but a good thing. So yeah, I think that's it for this particular story. It's kind of shocking. It's going to have to make me rethink some things and how I'm going to hold some of these assets other than MetaMask. But with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this content. And if you did, please hit that like button and subscribe. And thanks again for watching, and we'll see you all in the next video.